Hello, this is Diane, and this is my Trailblazers of the Universe YouTube channel. On my channel, I am helping you fearlessly and unapologetically live your best, most authentic life. I am helping you break through your barriers and transcending limitations you may have. So today, I want to make a video on how to stop seeking what's already inside of you. Let me explain. So often we're seeking things outside of ourselves to make us feel a certain way. And we end up chasing things, right? I also made a video on chasing happiness, which is this is kind of piggybacking off that. It's called Stop Chasing Happiness. So basically, think about it. When we want things outside of ourselves, like for instance, money, when you want money, what is the feeling you want to feel? It's not the money that you want. You might think it's the money that you want. It's not the relationship that you want, but it might appear that way. It's the feeling it gives you. The only reason you want something is because you think you'll feel good in having it. When you want a relationship, what do you want? Love, validation, attention, acceptance, blah, blah, blah. Think about when you want money. Why do you want money? For security, to feel secure, to feel abundant. Or sometimes we want certain things, maybe material things, or just we want to buy a bunch of programs, right? Sometimes you buy a bunch of courses or whatever, you want some kind of fulfillment. But the things you're seeking outside of you are actually already inside of you. For example, so any of these feelings, the feelings are not out there. The feelings are in here. You can actually feel all those feelings right now. When we want something outside of ourselves to make feel better, we're basically saying, as they would say, like a permission slip to feel better, to feel this way, to feel secure, to feel loved, to feel abundant. So we're saying that this needs to happen for me to feel this way, kind of thing. Or like I need this to feel this way, but you could just feel this way now. But a lot of it's, why do we act like this? A lot of it's like programming from when we were younger, from society, from the kids. We're always told a lot of it's consumerism as well, right? We need to buy this to feel better. Buy this product, it's going to make you feel this way. See what I'm saying? So we're always externalizing our power pretty much. We're always externalizing these feelings, but they're actually inside of us. We can feel those feelings right now. And also, so I always say the outer world is a reflection of your inner world, right? So within a manifestation, the paradox is, if you actually feel it inside, it will reflect on the outside. Why do you want money? It makes you feel abundant, secure, freedom, right? You can feel those feelings right now. In what other ways do you feel, can you feel free? Maybe free, you can break it down. Like I feel free, like I can take a walk outside, do whatever I want, whenever I want. Maybe you have a job where you work from home. You have freedom that way, right? It's more relaxed, right? Maybe you have freedom in just you can do whatever you want, you can say whatever you want. See what I'm saying? That security. What other ways can I feel secure? Do I feel secure? I have a place to live. That's security. I have a job. Security. Or some kind of income. That's security. Or I could learn, how can I feel secure within myself? Also with abundance. How else, maybe you say, how can I feel when I don't have it? What other ways are you abundant? Do you have an abundance of clothes, food? Even abundance of space is considered abundance. Of the freedom, the space to do whatever you want. So you have your own place. Or you even have your own room. You have space to do whatever, and some people don't even have that. See what I'm saying? We need to simplify it. We're always seeking this extravagant thing, or we're always seeking something outside of ourselves to make it feel safe. We can feel this way right now. So I'm going to say the same with relationships. You want to feel love. You want to feel validation. You want to feel acceptance. And happiness, like pretty much joy, I would say. How can you feel joy within yourself? How can you love yourself more? And you accept yourself more. Validation. You want validation. A lot of times we're seeking validation from the outside. You can validate yourself. How do you validate yourself? A lot of that comes from your belief. Sometimes we have beliefs about being unworthy and things like that, right? You need to validate yourself. You're a human being. You're alive. You exist for a reason. You're doing the best you can with what you have. You've came this far. You made it through. There's many ways you can validate yourself. Think of how can you feel validated. So I'm just making this video because I really think our society, we're programmed so much. We used to seek all these things on the outside, but the feelings are inside of us. They are not out there. And that's why it feels like we're always chasing these things, because it's not out there. So we're constantly chasing after relationships, chasing after money, chasing after material things, whatever. And even when you get those things, sometimes Sometimes you get that relationship, you get the money, you get the material thing you want, and then you still don't feel good inside. Why? Because you're not feeling it from within. It's not coming from in here. You're trying to seek it out there, and it's not out there. The feeling is inside of here. So, and it goes the same with all these things really come down to fulfillment, and also fulfillment's another one. What way, I forgot to mention that, how can you feel fulfilled within yourself? What can you do to make you feel more fulfilled? Maybe pursue your life purpose, pursue something you're passionate about, help people. You know what I mean? There's different ways to feel fulfilled. Sometimes when I feel fulfilled, for instance, making these YouTube videos, helping people, inspiring people, right? So even though I might want money, sometimes I want love, we're human, we all seek these things, right? That actually outdoes everything for me. When I'm doing that, I feel fulfilled. And you know what? All that stuff doesn't really matter, because then that actually gives me the love inside of myself, the validation, the security, stability, you know what I mean? So finding things that make you feel fulfilled can kind of like, I don't want to say overcompensate, but kind of make up for all those other things you might feel lacking in your life. But we need to just, how do you get in touch with these feelings inside? Some of us can't even feel feelings. You know, we numb ourselves out. We distract ourselves from feeling feelings. So that's why it's so hard and we're chasing it out there. But you need to get more present, get in touch with yourself more, follow your passions, what really makes you happy. Like from the heart level, not from your ego level, from your heart level. You live more from your heart. And also, some of these things could be the people you're hanging out with too, or the environments you're putting yourself in. Maybe that's why you're not feeling these things. Maybe you need to change the scenery, change the people you're interacting with, change a job. If you're not feeling all these things, if you're feeling bad all the time, you can't get in touch with these feelings that you're seeking out there. You might have to do some more soul searching and figure out what's more in alignment with where my life wants to go and everything. It's inside here, guys, not out there. So find a way to connect with your soul, with your heart more, and you won't feel the lack so much. You won't be chasing those things. We need to find it. It's inside of yourself. And then once you have it inside of yourselves, once you feel inside yourself, it will be reflected in your outer reality too. But it'll take longer. The more you keep bouncing between feeling those feelings and then not feeling lack, it's not a consistent vibration. It's going to be your reality in your 3D. It might be kind of hot and cold with all those things, right? So it takes time. Give it patience. Things aren't going to happen overnight. And don't be so controlled, emotionally triggered by what's going on in your environment. You know, it takes time to change. If you've been acting and feeling a certain way for so long, then it takes time to feel that way, you know? So sometimes the best way to do it is kind of neutralize. If you can't feel these feelings, at least feel neutral instead of feeling bad or in lack or fear or, you know, sad, lonely. Try to get to more of a neutral, and then you work your way up the vibrational scale, and then you can be able to feel those feelings. Once you hit neutral, then you can feel more positive feelings about it or the things that you're seeking. So that's all I have for today. If you like my content, hit the subscribe button. Have a good day, everybody. Namaste.